life's tough questions for you.
You know what? This is stupid. I don't have a clever intro. I was up all night trying to think of one stupid intro. I don't want to do it. You do the intros, I do the questions, alright? I don't have an intro. You know what? Let's just do questions. I'm sick of this. I've had a gutful.
Would you rather all of your socks magically had holes in them every time you put them on, even brand new ones, or you had to always wear 5 pairs of socks on your feet whenever you left your house, regardless of what you were wearing with those socks? Would you like to try this first?
Yeah, I know exactly the way I'm going with this one. There are a few things on this planet that are as stressful to me as the thought of socks with holes in them. The only thing that even approaches that, well, actually exceeds that, but mismatched socks. No, the idea of wearing socks with holes in them is, it's bothering me right now. I don't like it. It's no good. But wearing multiple layers of socks, I'm wearing 2 layers of socks right now. Wearing 2 layers of socks is one of my favourite things to do.
I would agree. Yeah, 2
probably
socks.
Less so in summer, but in the winter time, definitely it's the best. It's more comfortable. I mean, if you're going to wear 5 layers though, you'd need to adjust the sizing of your shoes, because I feel like you'd have some trouble getting your shoes on and off if you tried to go for a traditional shoe size. So even though I'd have to adjust all of my shoes, I think I'd still be better off with 5 pairs of socks. 5 pairs of shoes. 5 pairs of socks. I think it would be super comfortable.
Yeah.
Probably don't want to do it in summer. That feels like it would be a bit of a thing.
Yeah, definitely we get
the idea of, I don't know, walking around with holes in my socks feels insecure.
It at least says though when you leave your house, I suppose. So once you're home, you can take them off, unless you...
Doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, well, I'm not one that wears shoes in my own household anyway, so very rarely.
You shouldn't be wearing shoes.
Shoes have no business in the house.
I mean...
Except for storage, obviously.
Well, if you could see my shoes that I'm wearing right now, you'd know I was a hypocrite, but look, if we can just edit that part out. Yeah, no shoes inside.
No shoes. Anyway, look, I think that as far as wearing socks, I'm the same with you here. I like to wear a couple pairs of socks naturally anyway. It's more comfortable, like no chafing or anything. It's great. But that being said, I could not stand, I think, wearing 5 pairs. That is a lot. I already have very wide feet, and I have to buy shoes that are larger to accommodate for that. So I've usually got an awkward gap at the end of my shoe. And 5 pairs of socks is just going to increase that. Unless I bundle the sock at the end and squash it. But I already hate, I pull my socks. I'm like a bus driver. My socks go right up. I hate even the little bit of movement. So
get that.
Even when I'm wearing 2 pairs of socks, I still pull and tighten. It can bother me a bit. So 5 that's an extra 3 layers of just nonsense right there.
I too like to have my socks so tight. It's like one of those compression bandages.
Yes, yeah. My feet are like blue or something by the end. But having holes, I guess at the end of the day, like sometimes I do notice I've got a hole in my sock or something, and it does irritate me for a while, but I do get over it. And I think that hole is something that I could get used to. It also depends where the hole was. See, if it had a hole in the heel, maybe it might be alright. But if it's a toe, you get that feeling of, between your, I don't know what you call it, webbing? Is that what you call it? I know what you call the gaps between your toes. Let's just say webbing.
I'm not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor or a duck. So, anyway.
Yeah.
So I'd say that would irritate me. But if I could choose the holes around my heels, and I'd rather have the socks with the holes than the 5 pairs. What if I'm wearing like thongs, or if I go swimming in a pair of flippers, and I have to wear 6 or 5 pairs in flippers?
Why would you wear socks when you're going swimming?
Well, it's footwear, I guess. You have to wear them.
It just says wear 5 pairs of socks on your feet.
Regardless of footwear.
Oh, okay.
Does that count as footwear?
I should probably read whole sentences.
No, never read. It's bad for your health.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Put in the comments if you think that, what's it called? Flippers count as footwear or not.
Well, I guess the definition of footwear goes on your feet, so you don't even have to. Unless you wear them on your hands, but
sock hands.
Not going to do anything.
Alright, I think we've nailed that one. So opposing now, you'd rather wear more socks?
Yeah, I'd have to, because the alternatives to wear socks
You can
with
take
holes
mine
in them.
then. I'll take your ones with the holes, and you can go ahead and wear my socks.
Oh, I don't have any socks with holes.
They're already in the bin?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Cool. Anyway, all right, let's move on to our second question then.
done.
So, second question.
Okay. This one's a doozy. Alright. Would you rather never be able to read again, or never be able to watch digital things ever again, such as TVs, mobiles, monitors, so on, anything digital? That is objectively a horrible question. I don't like it.
I think before you answer, I think it's fair to say that reading would also imply, if you're picking the digital thing, reading lines on digital things. So if you couldn't read, I think that would also mean just you cannot kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? You say understand or put together.
Yeah.
Like you cannot piece together what you're seeing. It's just mumble jumble. So even if you were looking at like the banner on like a news thing, yes, if you can see digital, but if you can't read, you wouldn't be able to read the banner. You could just listen to what people were saying. So let's say read in all forms of scripture.
Yeah, no, I got that. No. Jeez. I mean, never able to read. Like, the first thing that popped into my head for some odd reason.
The word you're looking for is comprehend.
Comprehend. There we go.
That's a good word.
Comprehend. Well, I could not comprehend the word. See, that's why we've got people like this.
Yeah.
It's probably flashing below where we can't see it or something in later editing.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Anyhow, the first thing popped into my head thinking about not being able to read is try to, like, navigate in a vehicle. Like, I'm looking for a particular street, but unless I know already which one it is, I'm trying to navigate via some hieroglyphs mounted on pieces of metal. Like,
Very much so.
or, yeah, it... Not being, I mean, how could you go through life being a total illiterate? I mean, some people do, obviously.
They do,
have
they
done
do.
in the past, but I feel that one... but then again...
I wonder though if you can't read something. See, I would argue that I cannot read like hieroglyphs. I cannot read them. But I could tell you that's a bird and that's a snake. So I wonder if you could, for example, if it said going to, I don't know, Clockwork Street.
Like pattern recognition.
And if you're like, you can just, that is shape and that, you may not be able to read it or understand.
Like, recognition of patterns is kind of like
how
reading. You learn to read. So I feel like not being able to read. They're just jumbled hieroglyphs.
Okay. So you're going to have to, because you can't even then just copy and paste things and still not understand.
Yeah. Gee. Because even if you're able to recognise the particular pattern that corresponds to the word seems the earlier stages of reading. So to be consistent with the question, no, I mean, the idea of not being able to watch digital things just sounds horrible, but not being able to read seems worse. I feel like that would impact on my life greater than not being able to watch TV.
Yeah. See, I think I'm swaying towards the more digital things. I think I used to love reading. I used to okay, let me reword that, because I had loved reading what I had interest in. I couldn't care less for newspapers. It was always just reading straight to Garfield or whatever was in the comics, the funnies. But this day and age, I get most of my news straight from whatever my updates are from, whether it be like watching a YouTube channel, whether it be, yes, there are reading points that I do use, but I think I can get a lot of my information from visual information. So I think it's something that it would be difficult to adjust, but I think I would rather continually have digital information feeding me what I needed. That too, and we live in a day and age where everything, well not everything, but there are many things out there that you can use voice commands for. And yeah, I know occasionally it'll be like, take me to the nearest shops, and it's like finding nearest red light district. It's like, I didn't say that, stop. I know they do stuff up occasionally. It was that one time. But they do stuff up, but I understand that I think we live in an age now where I think there's a lot of voice command things, and as long as my somehow not being able to read has affected my already perfectly literate speech that I have here, coherent sentences. But I think I could get by without reading in that sense. Not by myself though. Definitely I would have other people
You'd have to have a helper following you
Definitely.
around all the time, and anytime anyone texted you or something, here, read this out to me.
Yeah.
Take a memo. Yeah, no, I feel like not being able to read, like, if someone's known to you to be an illiterate, I mean, that's just open slather for ridicule. That
True.
I would probably kill myself.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand being ridiculed for being an illiterate. Like, that sounds horrible to me.
Yeah,
Like,
true. I didn't think about the way the question's worded itself. Never be able to read again is almost like, in a sense, like a disability versus never be able to watch digital things. It's like someone's just stopping you. So the first one is an actual problem, I think.
I interpret it as anytime you look at any sort of digital display, it's just like black or completely white, or a series of like jumbled colours or something.
But at least see that if you said, "Oh, I didn't watch that because I can't," but if you said, "I can't read," that seems like a way like worse, more embarrassing thing to say. Oh.
I feel like I could still
Except in
get
school.
by in life
In
without...
school, when you're young, though, like, you know, if you said, I can't read, but if you said, I couldn't watch The Simpsons, Mum doesn't let me, then true story. No,
You'd never admit that that's what it was. You'd make up some story.
Yeah.
I couldn't because I was doing something like completely different. I
Yeah.
was busy and whatever.
yeah, doing important stuff,
Yeah.
bikes, bikes, and
Working on cars and diffs and
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, diffs. But no, I will go with no TVs.
No TVs.
Digitals.
Ah,
I feel like I'd
opposing
still get through
again.
one night.
Gee, opposing again. Let's see if on this third question we might get 3 for 3, hey, on opposing sides. So, final question for us today is, okay, this one's one of those ones where when you listen to the wording, it makes it seem a little bit strange, but we'll see if we get by here. So, for a 10-minute fight in a Colosseum match, so we're talking the classic Colosseum type match, where you're going to play for 10 minutes or until a knockout. This isn't to the death, but, you know, things happen, not to the death on purpose. But would you rather fight a 10-armed man or fight 10 no-armed men? So, and we're talking armed as in body parts here, not as in weapons. Yeah, they've wrote on there, so not as in guns or that. So, 10 armed men or 10 no-armed men. Would you like me to handle this one first?
Yeah, go for it.
Handle it with my 10 arms? Okay, so when I see this question, something that I guess I think about at first is it's not to the death. It's not to the death, so I have to last, in my head, I'm trying to make the 10 minutes. I'm trying to make the 10 minutes here, and I'm thinking we've got this Colosseum type setup. I've always been a bit of a scrawny-ish type person. I don't think even against men without arms I can really put up a fight. So I'm thinking if I go against a 10-armed man, maybe I can avoid him for 10 minutes. I'm thinking 10 arms might get in the way, it might slow him down a bit. Maybe I'm more nimble than him. It's not going to make for a very interesting fight. They never said I had to actually attempt to fight this man. I'm thinking 10-minute jog. I'm thinking this is a 10-minute jog around the Colosseum with some man with 10 arms. Like, I don't know, maybe he's got arms on his legs and he can somehow run really well. I've never thought about that. You know when you watch like gorillas or that can actually go on fours? I don't know if having extra arms, depending where they came from, might make him more mobile. I didn't think about that. But, okay, now I'm going to say 10-armed man, try and outrun him. Whereas if I'm versing 10 guys without arms, I've seen some pretty impressive stuff on the internet with people without limbs that can swim even without any limbs, and they manage to swim. So I've seen people, they can get up. So even if I knock them down, they're getting up. And I'm thinking 10 people is a lot to focus. Like, you might be able to knock down a couple, but you ever been headbutted by someone or kicked even? There's some people that can do some pretty sweet like roundhouse kicks and stuff on you. And I'm thinking these guys, they're going to be coming up at you, jumping, diving.
True.
You get enough of them smacking into you, it's going to suck. And once you're down, they're going to dogpile. Like, it's going to be, everyone will be on you. So I'm thinking, the same case, 10-armed man, once he grabs you, it's all arms, game over. But I think there's more chance to... It's like if you said, like in a game of football, do you think you get to the try line against one man or 10 men? You get the one man. So I'm just trying to make sure I avoid the one man versus these 10 guys that can split up and go all directions. like cut me off halfway through a circle.
Yeah, so I feel like the question should have been to the death because it would have made it more definitive.
Exactly.
But regardless, I'm taking the 10 men.
Yeah?
With no arms. So if it's a Colosseum type fight, I'm thinking something along the lines of there are Colosseum type weapons in there.
Oh, I didn't think about Colosseum.
But that was, I mean, it doesn't say, but that's how that's what I pictured in my head when it said the word Colosseum. But thinking about it, this 10-armed man, he's going to have probably 5 different sets of weapons. He's going to have probably a trident, a polearm, maybe one of those sweet nets they had with that net. I mean, that's, I don't know.
If he just had shields with arms and then just stabbing down.
Maybe he's going to have, or 5 sets of like a gladius and a scutum type shield. Yeah.
Spitting him like,
was
it Grievous?
A flail or something.
Yeah.
Like, but he has like 3 of them and there's flails going everywhere.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, I'd rather take 10. I think I'd stand a better chance. I mean, I'm no fighter, but I feel like I'd still stand a better chance against 10 men with
Without
0 arms. I feel like they've got less offensive capability to come after me with the weapons they cannot hold. I mean, sure, you've seen videos on the internet of people doing all sorts of things with just their legs, but a dude's not going to come after me with a polearm that he's holding in his legs, otherwise he's not going anywhere.
That'd be pretty impressive. That would be very impressive. But I guess it's also, what about then if they didn't? Because this is based on the assumption of the Colosseum match. What if they weren't armed with arms? What if they didn't have weapons? Are you still thinking that the no-armed 10 men is an easier match?
Yeah, I do. I feel like 10 men with no arms is going to be easier to get away from. I mean, one way or another, against either one, I'm not making any representation that I'm walking out of that Colosseum alive.
No, and that's exactly what I'm thinking. That's why I'm seeing that not to the death. I'm like, oh.
I feel like I'd go better against 10 men with no arms than one guy with 10 arms. I mean, what are you even supposed to do against that?
I don't even know. Like I said, it's when you think about that, at least we've seen, we know what a human would look like without arms. We know what that looks like. So the thing that's really got me is where do you put those 10 arms? Is it like maybe 2 or 3, maybe out of the shoulders?
I figure you're looking at like a Machamp?
Machamp?
You know that one? The blue fighting one with the multiple arms.
Oh, what's the Mortal Kombat Goro with the... He had 2 out of his...
Yeah.
Was it 3?
I don't know.
I can't remember what he had.
Kombat.
But I'm thinking it's going to be on the torso. I'm thinking arms are going to come out of the torso.
Because I was thinking like he's got a whole rack of 5 sets of arms like up and down his body.
Like that, what's it called? That god...
I don't know, the Hindu...
Yeah, the Hindu, but yeah, you know the one with all the arms. I'm not going to try guess it because I'd probably say the wrong god, but anyway,
I don't know that.
You think it's like that kind of coming out.
Yeah, well that's how I picture it.
So you're not picturing like wing, like chicken wing like type arms coming out of the shoulder back?
I can honestly say I was not, but I don't know. There's no rules about 10-arm men.
I don't know, put some in the comments. Put some in the comments below if you've got any opinions on where you think extra arms might be growing from, if that be the case of a 10-armed man.
I don't know, maybe his 2 legs are actually arms. His legs. He's got arms for legs, alright?
Yeah. Right. Is that counts as a handstand?
No.
Anyway, alright, I think we killed that one too. So, again, opposing, wow. So 3 for 3 today.
3 for 3.
3 for 3. It does not happen. Yeah, would you rather? Anyway, so look, that's it for today. Make sure you leave your comments in the section below or on the side, depending how you've got your layout and pulling your pages in and out. I don't know what people set up on kinds of...
I'm not a web design guy. I don't know how any of that.
I think it's however the default they put you as, most probably. Anyway, put your comments in. Make sure you follow the links to subscribe. Go over to Facebook. Start adding your own questions. Maybe you've got something slightly tweaked on something we said today. But yeah, we'll see you next time.
Until next time.
Would you rather stay inside for all your life, or fly around the air 100 miles as a knife? I wonder what it is that you would do. That's why I've got life's tough questions for you.